Well, time now for a very, very special guest. For regular goers to our annual lunch, you will know that we always endeavour to bring on one of the modern crop. Particularly exciting this year, the list of his achievements, club records, beggars belief. He is simply our most capped England player. He's made the most consecutive league appearances. He's made the most appearances in a single season, the most appearances in European competition. He's currently our third highest goal scorer of all time. He's won 3 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, but perhaps his greatest achievement, which very few of you will know, is this man also achieved an A star in his Latin GCSE. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Frankie Lampard!
This could be the title! He's got it! Lampard goes for goal! Oh, stunning effort! For Lampard, we recognise that one all right. Lampard has roofed it!
He's one of the best midfielders in the world and best players in the world.
But Frank Lampard, the man for the occasion, has done it again! Frank Lampard! Oh! That is genius! Oh! Goal that is! Absolutely brilliant! Lampard!
Frank, we budgeted 30 minutes for this, knowing that 10 minutes will be taken up with a Super Frankie Lampard chance at the back.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
A star in Latin GCSE. I mean, it's hard to imagine. The man I'm looking at on this sofa was the school geek sitting in the corner.
I don't know about geek. No, I don't ask me to say anything now. It was a long time ago, and I was quite astute. I used to try and work as hard as I could at school. And
11 GCSEs.
Yes.
At a very good school.
Yes, I was very lucky. Mum and Dad pushed me. Even though I wanted to be a footballer from that high, they still made me get all my school GCSEs to make sure that I had some backup.
Didn't the club doctor put you through some neurological test, which he does for all the players? Apparently, you recorded the highest ever IQ of a Chelsea football player.
Well,
that's so.
Oh, well, I was going. I beat the teammates, and yeah, I won't gloat too much about that. But no, I think I was in quite a good percentage in the general consensus. But, and I beat my Chelsea teammates quite easily.
No one will let us know where JT scored.
I think JT was second or third.
From bottom or top?
No. He told me to say that. I think he told everyone that. I don't know if he was now.
Do you know, Frank, it's extraordinary. If we'd held this dinner 3 or 4 weeks ago, so-called experts were writing you off, not just as a club player, but as an international as well. And yet here we are now sitting on the stage, actually starting again, and of course skippering your country to victory against the world and European champions and scoring the winning goal. A month is a long time in the world of football.
It is. I've been here. I've been in that kind of situation many a time in my career, and luckily with experience you keep more of a level head and you can understand that things change in a week or a month. I've always had the sort of work ethic to try and work through it. I know that I've got great support here. That's one place I always know that I feel at home, whether things aren't going so well for me on the pitch or not. Chelsea's always been my home in that way, and that makes me feel very strong. And I have to say, and not just saying it here, but a big thanks to everyone here, because I know they'll always stand by me, and that's why I'll always carry on giving as much as I can here.
Obviously the focus today is on you wearing a blue shirt, but just rewinding. What I've never ever been able to understand is that, of course, you came out of the ranks of West Ham. You were part of the West Ham Academy. I know that's what they call it. Obviously it's the Chelsea Academy, because we just let them do all the work and then nick their best players. I cannot understand the lack of love that you had, particularly since you're the son of one of the great West Ham legends, that you had from the West Ham faithful. What was that all about?
Well, it kind of worked in reverse, I suppose, for me. I grew up, from the sins, I grew up a West Ham fan, and I was playing for the club that I did support, which is, any kid's dream, really. And I just think I managed to be sitting on the bench as a young sub behind my dad and my uncle, and when I was warming up, and we know the kind of people that can be in that area. Sometimes we were sitting on the sidelines there. and they used to give me stick, and I came on. I probably didn't make much of an impression, to be honest, in a way, but a little bit similar to my first season here. You know, I was okay without being outstanding, and they went against me straight away. I used to get a bit of stick, go and sit down, sit back next to your old man and all that stuff. And I got a very thick skin very young through that, and my intention there, I wouldn't say I planned it from the beginning, but I wanted to do well and I wanted to prove them all wrong. And I look back now and I think I proved them wrong in the best way possible.
And you mentioned it, obviously, with your dad playing for West Ham. Understandably, you were, as a kid, a West Ham fan, but I don't think there's any question in anybody's mind in this room, let alone out on those terraces, that you are Chelsea through and through now.
Well, my dad was my idol, and I was, very lucky to have a football playing dad to look up to. That's every kid's dream as well. I was so proud of him. I used to just sort of stand in the tunnel and watch him run out as a real little boy. So to get to that stage and then feel the disappointment of it. I mean, I remember my dad going back to watch a Chelsea-West Ham game when I was at Chelsea, and he was getting told, your son's a Judas this and a Judas that, and really that sort of summed me. I was happy then because I knew that I'd made the change and I was here, and they can see me that way. That's perfect. I am proper Chelsea now.
I think it was JT that mentioned in the VT we just saw that you were one of the greatest midfielders in the world. A certain man by the name of Jose Mourinho referred to you as the greatest player in the world, quote unquote, after a game, I think it was against Blackburn. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on Jose and your thought on the special one and the influence he had on your career?
Well, he was I'd say, when I take my dad out of the equation, because he helped me get to the professional game, but in terms of when I've been a professional, Jose is the one big change in my life in terms of that period of time. He came in, and I don't know whether he believed I was the best player in the world. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He did used to tell me that. But no, you say you've done it. You can only do it yourself if you believe. And I was quite a modest kid. I came here, and probably my first season, and playing amongst Zolas and Desailly's, I wasn't sure if I should be here really. And then in time, I became comfortable. But then when Jose came to the club, he went, actually, you should be here. And you know what? You're one of the best in the world. And the only thing you're missing is titles. As he used to say, you're missing winning things, because then if you want to be known as one of the best, as Dan and all these great players, you have to have the titles. And a few years later I had league titles, FA Cups, Carling Cups, so some of what he said came right.
A lot of people refer to the modern boss, the present day boss, as a sort of out of the same camp as Jose. Do you feel that's a correct analysis? Yeah,
certainly. I mean, the manager was working with Jose a lot, so he obviously studied him. We all have to, you have to look up to someone. And me as a player, if I become a manager one day, hopefully, I will take bits out of the people I've worked with all the way through the line. And the manager certainly has done that with Jose. There's a lot of his training sessions, his methods, his ideas. But at the same time, he has his different personality. Jose was possibly a bit more of an outspoken kind of warrior. We all knew what we got with him, whether it would get him in trouble or not. The manager's a bit more calm. That's probably the main difference. But on the training ground, there's a lot of similarities.
Is that an ambition you mentioned? Possibility of management, coaching, after your career finally comes to an end at the age of, 48, 53?
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I would like to be a manager. Or in some capacity working. I'll be honest, I would only want to work at Chelsea, which is it's narrowing down the option.
It'd be a pretty happy selection for most of us.
Well, it's not that, and an element of it is being a bit selfish and a bit kind of what I'm used to, and I just think I'm so happy here that if I could be working here as a manager or any role at the club, because I care about it. As we see all the players that we see here, that's the beauty of Chelsea. I didn't realise when I come here, but what a family and together club it is. All the old boys are always coming back, and we talk to them, and they talk with the fans, and they mix. That doesn't happen everywhere.
You did say once, you did quote that you would like to finish your career here at Chelsea. Mm-hmm. You obviously signed a contract back in 2008. Was it a 5-year contract?
Yes.
So that takes us through to 2013. Has that view changed? Is it still your ambition that this is your club, this is where it'll end?
My only view that's changed is that I want to stay for longer than that. I kind of knew that in the beginning, but you never know that far ahead. But be it this, I've got this season, I've got next season as it stands, and I'd love to extend that. As long as the club want me, I'll be here. There's no doubt. Whatever anyone says recently or anywhere, I'll be here. Without a doubt.
You have a most extraordinary career. I mean, just looking at it quickly, 5 consecutive 20-plus goal seasons, 6 consecutive nominations for FIFA World Player of the Year, and you were runner-up one year, of course. best player in the world according to Jose. I mean, the list is just endless. With all those highlights, is there one single moment in your Chelsea career that is above the rest?
Yeah, beating Bolton to win the league for the first time.
Scoring twice.
Well, yes, personally in scoring, I suppose, you know, in a way that gave me an edge. But that team, that on the pitch with Roman Abramovich, with all the team, with the manager in the dressing room up with the champagne, and the build-up, you know, it had been building up. Everyone knew it had been so long. The fans were talking about it. We were thinking about it. But we kind of knew it was coming. But the explosion of doing it that day, my mum and dad were sitting behind the goal because I couldn't get them the good tickets. They sat behind the goal with. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it makes them sound like snobs. It's not like that at all, honestly. I'll always sit them wherever, other than Liverpool, because I fear for their safety. But anywhere else, they don't mind sitting. But no, it was particularly apt that they were behind the goal. I do try and get, you know, because my dad and that tickets, he can get them. Thankfully, Dave Barnes and that at Chelsea sorted them out a lot. But that day, for whatever reason, couldn't get them. They sat right behind the goal. With everyone and celebrated with everyone, and that's something that I'll always have in my heart that day.
You've had the most extraordinary career. You've won everything there is to win. I'm reliably informed you're not a moose in the look department. No, this is true, guys. This morning I had to endure 10 minutes of my girlfriend telling me how much she fancies you.
Oh, really?
Obviously she's dating me, so she hasn't really got much taste anyway. So the only thing that, with all that's going for you, and all that you've achieved in your life, and all you've got to look forward to, there are still times when you look a bit miserable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you need to. Why? Come on, smile more, Frankie, because we all love you.
You know what? I'm always kind of. I probably can be miserable sometimes, but I'm always trying to push on and do more. I'm one of those. I think probably one of the reasons I've got here is because I'm not a talent of a Messi or a Zola, but I do graft, and I'll always try and get the most I can get potentially out of myself. And I'm probably always on edge a little bit in that way. But don't worry, I smile. I especially smile when we win or it's good here. I definitely smile.
You've been voted Chelsea Player of the Year 3 times. You were also, at the end of 2009, voted the greatest player in the Premier League decade prior to that. I think that says everything. West Ham's loss, very much our game. For my money, with all you've achieved, your longevity, you are the greatest player ever to put a blue shirt on. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Frankie Lampard!